Call meeting to order. Pledge of Allegiance, Councilmember McCallum.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
United States of
and to the
America,
republic for which it stands,
which is
one nation,
one
under
nation,
God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible.
liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Larkey,
Here.
Councilmember White,
Here.
Councilmember Thompson. Here. Councilmember Davidson.
Here.
Councilmember Pryan.
Here.
Councilmember Lawson.
Here.
Councilmember Richardson.
Here.
Councilmember McCallum.
Present.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
We have a quorum. Personal appearances, there's none. E, unfinished business. 1, motion approving the final reading of Bill 2025-56.
An ordinance approving a special use permit for an electronic message center sign for Crossroads United Methodist Church at 515 East Markey Parkway.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilmember Lawson.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Thompson.
Yes.
Richardson.
Aye.
Davidson.
Yes.
Pryan.
Aye.
McCallum.
Aye.
Mayor Larkey.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item 2, motion approving final reading of Bill 2025-57.
An ordinance approving a special use permit for an electronic message center sign for Lord of Love Lutheran Church at 8306 East 171st Street.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilmember White,
Here.
Davidson,
Yep.
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Pryan,
Yes.
Johnson,
Aye.
McCallum,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Mayor Larkey,
Aye.
Richardson.
Aye.
Motion passes. F, new business. 1, motion approving the first reading of Bill 2025-58.
An ordinance recognizing a scrivener's error contained within ordinance number 2025-4894 and amending the same to correct said scrivener's error.
Present.
Second.
A motion and a second. You're up.
Yes, Mayor, members of council, as you may recall, the city put before the voters a question of extending the fire and emergency services sales tax. Prior to us bringing that to you all, city staff researched what statutory section the sales tax had been implemented under the first time. However, there were no references made in either the ordinance that submitted the original question to the voters or the ordinance that approved it. So based on some discussions, we believed that it was under the general city sales tax statutes. Given that, we went ahead and drafted the ordinance as such. When that was provided to the Missouri Department of Revenue, they pointed out that they believed that it was implemented under a different statutory section. So they have asked us to correct our ordinance to state that it was under the appropriate statutory section. There is no issues with the ballot language because our ballot language did not include any reference to any statutory section. The voters just simply approved an extension. And this is also the exact same way that Ray Moore is dealing with a similar issue.
Go ahead.
So that we're dealing with this a little differently than how we have previously with other Scrivener errors. Can you just talk me through the?
We're just doing this because this is exactly what the Missouri Department of Revenue requested.
Okay.
I don't agree with their legal reasoning at the front end, and I don't agree with how they're having us do it, but we'll do what they ask.
Alrighty.
Go ahead.
This might be more of a question for our city clerk. So how do these minutes show up on the document center on our city website? Will there be the original ones and then like an addendum with the corrected ones? Or do the corrected ones just live on and the other ones get deleted?
The scrivener's error and the red line will show in these minutes. It will be amended, the ordinance itself from April will be amended on the ordinance.
Cool.
Probably put an asterisk on it referencing today's date.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, I don't think I've done this before.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Anybody else?
Are we in a hurry for this?
Yes, staff is requesting a double read just so we can get it to the Missouri Department of Revenue as soon as possible. Again, the voters already approved the extension at the last election. This is simply a ministerial act to ensure collection.
Anybody else? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion for a second.
We have a motion for a second reading
Second.
and a second for a second reading. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Motion approving the second reading of Bill 2025-58.
An ordinance recognizing a scrivener's error contained within ordinance number 2025-4894 and amending the same to correct said scrivener's error.
Present.
A motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilmember White,
Here, yes.
Johnson,
Aye.
Pryan,
Aye.
Mayor Larkey,
Yes.
Richardson,
Aye.
McCallum,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
Thompson,
Yes.
Davidson.
Yes.
Motion passes. 2, motion approving resolution 2025-82.
A resolution adopting the Belton Transportation Safety Action Plan.
Present.
Second.
Motion and a second, you're up.
Well, I'm very excited tonight to present the safety action plan for the city of Belton. Basically, about 3 years ago, the federal government passed a new program called Safe Streets for All, or SS4A. This is a unique program that the federal government has done. In the past, federal dollars have only been spent on primary routes, and it used to be only federal dollars were spent on basically federal highways and state highways. This bill has allowed money to be spent on local streets from the federal government, which is the most outstanding opportunity for cities have had forever since they started collecting gas tax. As part of this new program that it created, SS4A, requires that every city has to have an action plan to show why we need the money, where we place the money, and what the priorities and how we spend the money to be able to use money from the federal government. And so in order to do that, we did create a team. Several of you were participants. So we had the city council, we had the planning commission, we had members of the public, prominent business community leaders, and members of the community on the team, along with some city staff members, to create this team. We hired a consultant, Wilson and Company, who led the effort and helped us develop this plan. The plan is in your agenda, and it is about 170 pages. We are not going through the 170 pages. I hope that you had taken the time to read through the document, but I'm going to give you a brief overview of it. And so there are two main things that we're going to look at. One is the high injury network and a high risk network. So these two networks are basically places where there are actual crashes going on today. That's the high injury network. These are the miles of roadway, and it's shown in red on there, of where accidents occur. And if you notice, most of those accidents occur on the state system. There's also another network of roads called the high-risk network. And you are very familiar with those, where people call up and they talk to you and they say, I'm very nervous about someone running me over on this road. There's nowhere to walk. I'm missing a sidewalk. It's an open ditch. I don't feel safe even driving the road, that I may fall into a ditch. And so these are roads where there's a perceived place where there is a chance for an accident. If you put those together, that is over 33% of the roads in Belton. One of the things that we did is that in order to achieve a lot of these information, is that we went to the public and asked them what and how they felt about it. So we had things like an online engagement. And the online engagement, you can see for the, excuse me, by all the marks on the city map, we have places where people had said, hey, this is as a bicyclist, that I think there should be improvements. There are driver concerns, there are pedestrian concerns, there are concerns about just mobility through the city and how we get through the city. There's places where there are crashes, near crashes, and we compiled all this information of what people had to say in that mode. We also did pop-up events. That's basically putting a tent up where something else is already going on, whether it was Carrie Nations Day or at High Blue. At different places, they just put up the tent and then got people's comments. They put stickers on things, and they told us what did they perceive as problems throughout the city. And all this information, along with the information from the different people who also volunteered to be on the committee, basically helped make up where things need to be. Things are always brought up like, congestion and things are going on 58. The people always bring up about where sidewalks are missing, how it's hard to get from one part of town to the other just walking, and things like that. It also correlated to Matt's comprehensive plan, where he talked about a 15-minute walking area and things like that, where we try to engage a lot of different things. People also brought up things about speeding, aggressive driving, in places where they see crashes more often than anywhere else. We held 3 in-person formal task force meetings. And these meetings went through and we discussed all these different issues. And as we went through it, we refined the plan that you have today. And from that plan, they were influenced on basically what the visions, goals, and the recommendations of the plans, identifying the areas that we should work on. And we're basically trying to shape a plan that would govern us of where we're going to start working on, or what our priorities are for trying to get federal dollars in the future to do this work. And basically we came up with, it's 3 priorities, but priority 2, you're going to see, has multiple levels to it. Our first priority that was listed in it was working in 3 specific areas. These are the unimproved streets, the major areas of unimproved streets in town, which is the northeast area, Old Town, and the west side, where there's a significant amount of work that needs to be done, where we actually get rid of the ditches. We can put storm sewers in, put curbs in, redo the streets, put sidewalks in, and make those streets feel safe again, where you can walk and do things. Priority 2 has multiple levels. The first level, A, is complete roadway safety around a 1/4 mile of schools and parks. So as you can see, as we're going through the priorities, we're starting to gain more and more streets. 90% of the streets in town end up in the plan. So you don't have to worry, is my street going to be in it? Because I know some people might ask that. Most likely, yes, your street's going to be in it. And so this is within schools and parks. We talked about places on the HRN system and the high-risk network. And this is another map that shows a whole bunch of those. Number 2C was to close the gaps with sidewalks, because we talk a lot about that, about sidewalks, how we're missing sidewalks, need to add sidewalks. So you can see there's another layer map that shows it. So you can see we're not missing many streets here. And then level 3 is looking at basically where the high injury network is, where there's actually accidents with injuries. Most of those are on state routes, but there are a couple that are city streets that are on this network. But when you finish looking at it, 90% of the streets here in town are covered by it. This plan now basically highlights, this is the conclusion of the plan. You can go through all the data that's in it. All the surveys are in that 180 pages. I encourage you to look through it all. And it basically comes down to this conclusion. 90% of our streets need attention. This plan now will authorize us to work in any order in this plan. We're not going to just work on priority 1 first, then priority 2A, then 2B and 2C. We can work anywhere in this plan that we want to work and move it forward. And that's basically my quick presentation of 180 pages. Now, just so everybody knows, the initial SS4A was a 3-year program the federal government had started. It is authorization ends December 5th of this year. So Congress is going to have to renew the program and refund the program. So as you know, as things are going on in Washington right now, I can't guarantee when it's going to get reauthorized and restarted, but it's something to look forward to, because it is probably the most popular program that cities and counties throughout this nation are using. I mean, everybody is doing this because it is the thing that we need the most. We get the most money spent on the highest volume roads, but a lot of these accidents and crashes and problems occur on the local city streets that have never gotten the attention they've needed. And so it's a very important program, and that's why we want to approve this, adopt this study, this planning study, and so that we have it and we can submit it to the feds. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Councilmember McCallum.
I don't have any questions because I was part of that task force, but I'll just add in that it was really quite impressive. They brought forward a lot of data. They used actual, data, and then took input from us and other people to create, the plan here. So this wasn't something just like, I feel like this is what, or this, whatever. It was very objective, and it was a well put together venture. So just thought I'd share that.
I too went, and it was a well put together thing, and they answered your questions that you had right then. But the number one topic was sidewalks
Absolutely.
in every one of the meetings that I sat through.
Anybody else? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. G, consent agenda. One motion non-debatable to approve the recommendations noted. Any member of the council may ask for an item to be taken from the consent agenda for discussion and separate action.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing
Number two,
none, all
number
in-
two,
oh,
please.
What?
He wants to remove number two.
Number two, please.
Number two. Anybody else? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item two, motion approving resolution 2025-083.
A resolution approving an agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management to manage fleet services for the city of Belton, Missouri.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. You're up.
So this is, for those listening, this is about our fleet agreement for vehicles. And during the work session that we had during our last meeting, there was a comment about us having some surplus vehicles that we were not necessarily utilizing or maybe not fully utilizing, something of that nature. And then I was trying to read through here. Can you just identify like kind of one for one as to what we're replacing with the fleet, with these fleet vehicles and what we're, kind of just briefly what that plan is?
Sure. So for this first round, we've identified 3 vehicles that we are looking to replace and add. It's in this fiscal year. So the first one is the minivan currently owned and operated by Economic Development, but is loaned out to the senior center. The van itself, while has been useful, there are definitely some changes. So like, for example, the bench seat in the middle of the minivan to accommodate our seniors really needs to be 2 captain seats, plus it needs to be a lower chassis. And so that's one of the reasons we're replacing that van. And part of the reason that van has been in service by the senior center is because the Oates contract had become so cost prohibitive. The other 2 vehicles that we've identified, one of them is for neighborhood improvement. We currently have 2 neighborhood improvement officers that are sharing a vehicle. And so in order for them to actively do the job that we've hired them to do, we need an additional vehicle for that division. And then the third vehicle in this fiscal year that we're looking at is our building inspector. We are asking, or we are currently have our building official plus Matt as well as Jen as the city planner are conducting more field work. And they are using their personal vehicles in order to go out to construction sites and do some of those inspections. And so those are the 3 vehicles that we're currently going to be putting on the lease program for this fiscal year. For the next fiscal year, what we're looking at is replacing, based on how our budget discussion goes here in the coming months, putting the rest of the neighborhood improvement and the building inspector vehicles in the program as well. So in total, we've identified in this half fiscal year 3 vehicles, and then the next fiscal year, another 6 vehicles that would be in the program in its entirety. And that's where we're starting right now.
I'll worry about the 6 when we get to budget and we can talk about that then.
Correct.
But so the current 3, if I'm understanding, so we're replacing the minivan situation.
Correct.
The other 2 are addition?
Correct.
They're not replacements, they're adding to what we currently have? Okay. Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Will the existing minivan come back to economic development and then the new lower chassis, senior-friendly one belong to the senior center?
Correct, yes. And our plan right now is that van actually would be sold because it's kind of gotten to the end of its, maintenance has gotten a little bit more expensive on it. And economic development would actually be using the planner vehicle. In economic development, we don't really have a huge need for a touring vehicle. And so it would just be shared with planning.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Communication from City Council, Councilmember Johnson.
Just wanted to share that we have the high school choir is going to participate in the mayor's Christmas tree lighting sometime between 5 and 6. We've also gotten an ensemble from the high school and junior high bands who are going to participate with us for Christmas on Main Street on December 20th. And so we're very excited about that. We're still working on something for the 13th and hope to resolve that, but I don't think we'll be able to get one of the bands to help us out with that. Also participated in the Hope Haven Gala on Saturday night, which was a very good event, and they raised over $33,000 for Hope Haven. So it was a good event and money that will be well spent.
My family and I have participated in several trunk or treats and just things going on around Halloween over the last weekend. And just want to say thank you to anybody in the community that's made that happen. It's been a lot of fun, and it's really nice just seeing the community and just having that sense of community as we enjoy the seasons. In terms of the TDD board, our last meeting was discussing the financial situation in order to plan for the North Cass Parkway extension. The next meeting, we'll look to get some more information from Public Works as we, plan for the engineering of that, so we can better discuss how to address those monies, but not a big update other than that. From the Parks team, there's a lot going on, so in order to not try to repeat myself too much, I'm going to just list most of the things that I haven't said. So one of the things, there's a stream cleanup this weekend, November 1st, at Cleveland Lake. There will be a light parade, or, the Christmas parade on downtown Main Street that will take place on November 29th. That'll be at 4:30. The holiday craft show at High Blue is on December 6th. And there will be a picnic with St. Nick on December 20th at High Blue as well. And then the other thing, Operation Santa is underway. There's barrels around town for food and toy donations, and that'll be going through December 5th. So please consider giving to that. And that's everything I have.
I got nothing.
I'll add on to the Safe Streets for All theme for tonight and give a shout out to staff for the adjustments at Second and Walnut, which I, as a driver, had experienced as kind of a blind intersection when a truck would park right at the stop sign. I've noticed since we've painted the curb, the truck doesn't park there. Hopefully that is correlated to less near misses or hits. And also I would just say, I hope everyone has a safe and happy Halloween and is aware of little ghosts and goblins.
I have nothing.
Got nothing either.
Well, I just got back from the MPR in Branson, Missouri, and let me tell you, risk management is not my cup of tea. It causes me to lose gray matter quickly, but I appreciate all the hard work that's done by this group of people that we are looking at right now, because my goodness, it was something. I also sat through snowplow training class. And Greg explained that he'd been plowing streets for 37 years. Is that what you said? And that I have to give a shout out to Clayton Turnbow, who did a stellar job with the graphics and kept us all awake. And if we did act like we were dozing off, he would remind us to be awake, to look at his stellar graphics. And I'm sorry I didn't know that they fed breakfast before I got there, because I would have eaten what Sean cooked. But anyhow, I had a great time, and those guys are hard workers, and they didn't act like they dreaded it. And now, maybe me driving a snowplow they dread, but anyhow, neither here nor there. But I had a good time, so thank you, Greg, and you guys.
I have to couple off of that because I also was there, and it was really well done. And it's nice to see the behind the scenes. Seriously, like it's good, especially for council and when we're talking with residents and understanding the situation. It's nice to be understanding what those guys are working with and dealing with. And we got to see some of our brand new equipment that we all approved here. So it was really nice. And yeah, I'll shout out to Clayton. He did a great job.
I just want to clarify, you guys sat through training, but you will not be operating the snow plows. We're going to leave that to our Public Works crew.
So let me just clarify
God.
this. I do have a CDL, so I could legitimately operate, but I probably won't.
I don't.
You heard that, Greg. Do with that what you will.
I'd be happy to volunteer if they need help, but I have a feeling that call will never happen.
And I told her I'd be back, and I saw a couple of booked the guys in QT the next morning, and they didn't pat me on the back like I was a grandma, but it was pretty close. So,
Mr. White, do you have anything?
I had a Ward 4 meeting scheduled, but because of my needing to come to North Carolina for family reasons, I will be postponing it to more mid-November. So it'll be on the city's website and Facebook. So please look for it. That's it.
Else, anybody have anything else? I don't have anything. City manager?
I don't have anything this evening, Mr. Mayor.
No items for review and discussion. L, motion to enter executive session, discuss matters pertaining to legal actions according to Missouri State Statute 610.021.1 pertaining to leasing, purchase, sale of real estate according to Missouri Statute 610.021.2 pertaining to the negotiated contracts according to Missouri State Statute 610.021.12, and it's a record be closed and the meeting adjourned from there.
Present.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Councilmember Richardson,
Aye.
Thompson,
yes.
Pryan,
Aye.
Davidson,
Yes.
Johnson,
Aye.
Mayor Larkey,
Aye.
Lawson,
Aye.
McCallum,
Aye.
White.
Motion passes.
Aye.
Oh, I keep forgetting about him. We're staying in here tonight.